Manase Katha.
Actually, we have discussed about this topic a lot, but now I would like to reflect on some real stories from research, which I believe is very valuable and insightful, especially Dishana's research work for the past 20 to 25 years. Dishana, what do these cases tell us about hidden suffering within marriages?
So I'm going to speak from my own research on this topic, and I've done on this topic research in Sri Lanka and in the US, but with South Asian and Muslim communities. And one of the things that my own research found was that women experience the trauma of rape within marriage if they are getting raped, and the experience of the trauma is similar to stranger rape situations, right? So the trauma, and in some contexts, maybe because of the long-term abuse that, when you're in a marriage, and if you're experiencing it on a daily or monthly or weekly basis, I feel like the trauma and the impact of that is even more profound than in stranger rape contexts. Um, and so another situation that I found was that there were several women that come from cultures where it's very traditional cultures, and they don't believe in the concept of marital rape, and they believe that it's a Western concept and it's not there in their own cultures. But these same women who, even if they don't accept this concept, or they don't believe there is something called marital rape, or they are being raped, but they're going through experiences of what the what therapists or what the Western world would actually describe as marital rape, then they experience a similar patterns of trauma to people who accept that they're going through marital rape, right? So, for example, I remember in one of the stories, one of the women were telling, like, she was telling me that, this is a Western concept. This is not in our culture. This concept of marital rape, that's a completely Western thing. We don't go through things like that. Now, do I go through a difficult situation in my marriage? It's she believed that because she comes from a more traditional culture, she believed that she had to submit to her husband. But she was also in a domestic violence situation, and she was living, like you said before, Nilu, she was living in fear of her husband.
Oh,
And she described to me, when at night, when her husband comes, like during the day, the husband mostly drinks and then comes to her at night. And as the day goes on, and towards, like, when it is getting nighttime, she said that her neck hurts, and she feels like stomach knots. And after intimacy, or after their sexual encounter, she feels nausea, and she has nightmares, she can't sleep, and she has headaches. And you know she was even diagnosed with asthma, ulcers, and different things. And so she was clearly having these symptoms that rape survivors go through, and survivors of marital rape go through. And yet, despite all of these things, despite describing the discomfort, she would not describe what she's going through as marital rape, because she did not believe that that can happen, because she believed it was her duty to submit to her husband whenever he wished to. And from what she described, the husband also believed that he had the right to, ask her to have sex whenever he wants, and he didn't need her consent. That the consent happened at the time of marriage, and so she had to submit anytime she wants. And so that was something that I think that I my research that I found that kind of surprised me also, that this aspect that even when people don't believe they're going through this, they still experience the trauma of it.
Absolutely. That's a really pathetic situation, and I can't believe how many tears in silence is happening behind the closed doors, especially in Asian cultures, because of you know they're actually really backwards. They don't have a voice. Even if they want to express themselves, there are a lot of restrictions coming from the environment, the family, and the society. So it is a really good insight that you have expressed here, Deshana. So thank you. Let's move on.
Manase Katha.